Welcome everyone to Canadian Yorkers Town Talk live stream video. Today we are going to be talking about Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Part 2. In this live stream, guys, I'm coming back with another live stream. Again, I had to take a hiatus because I had to take care of some business. And so I've been gone for a while, and I've been waiting for stories to kind of build up in regards to Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Davis. And so here we are. We're going to be talking about a few articles here, talking about some pretty interesting developments that have happened since the March 1st draw, or the fight that happened back in March. We're now in the second week or third week of May, and the fight is going to be happening, I believe, in June. So we're getting closer and closer to the deadline of the fight happening. So I'm coming back with a video on on the follow up leading up to the fight. So definitely, I want to keep you guys posted on what's going on with in regards to the fight. So let's get into this article here. I have 5 articles I'm going to be sharing with you, and I want everybody to be following along. So this article here is from SportsIllustrated.com, written April 1st, 2025, last month. So Lamont Roach reveals Gervonta Davis is ghosting him before a rematch. Um, so let's get into this article. The entire boxing world is eager to see when an official date and time will be announced for the rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. While all indications are that a rematch is guaranteed to take place and is being reported is likely to occur on June 21st in Las Vegas next month. And the lack of an official announcement thus far is unsettling to some. What's sure is that Gervonta Davis has essentially been nowhere to be found online since his controversial first fight against Lamont Roach occurred on March 1st, which resulted in a major majority draw despite many believing Roach deserved the win. Roach, on the other hand, has been popping up everywhere, doing multiple interviews to state his case for winning the fight, discussing the fateful knee that Davis took in the middle of the ninth round and discussing his sentiment regarding the rematch. According to the article, it says here, Roach's most recent interview was alongside boxing icon Andre Ward on the All the Smoke Fight podcast on April 8th, and at one point he shared an interesting anecdote about his post-fight interaction attempts with Tank Davis. Lamont Roach discussed how he and Davis had a lot of mutual respect before the fight. When Ward asked him whether his time is the same after the fight, he sighed and said, "He's changed his number. I tried to call him, he changed his number." Lamont Roach then mentioned how he and Davis shook hands on a pre-fight bet that Davis would knock him out. He then added, quote, "I ain't got that money yet." That's what Lamont Roach said. He changed his number, Slim, but that will be a conversation for another day. Close quote. Uh, uh, Hopefully, Roach will get to confront Davis about this in person as well. So there we have it, guys. Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis, saying Gervonta Davis is just ghosting Lamont Roach before the match. He's not talking to him whatsoever. There's some other feedback happening. Gervonta Davis's father has weighed in and threw his 2 cents in um, about what he thinks about Gervonta Tank Davis. So this article is written April 11th, 3 days later. And let's get into this here. So it says here, this was also written on SportsIllustrated.com. I have a lot of articles here from Sports Illustrated written last month regarding Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. So it says here in this article, while there has always seemingly seemed to be a healthy amount of mutual respect between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, it's also clear that these two are not fond of each other outside the ring. This has been intensified ever since their March 1st fight ended in a majority draw result. Davis' performance in this fight, combined with the controversial decision that he made in the ninth round to take a knee out of nowhere, then have his face wiped off by his corner, all of which went, uh, all of which went, where was I? Sorry, yes, all of Wentz went unpenalized by the referees. His Steve Willis has turned many fans against him. Some fans have convinced Tank is overrated after facing Roach and believe his knockout-centric style is going to cost him in an eventual match. However, most boxing heads understand that Davis is still a world-class fighter. This is the opinion that Lamont Roach Sr., who is Lamont Roach Jr., his son's father, head trainer, shared during an April 8th interview on YSM Sports Media. Quote, Lamont Roach Sr. said, he's a bad man. He earned everything he got, Lamont Roach Sr. said of Tank Davis. He later added, Gervonta is a great champion, and he earned everything he got. He's still a great fighter. What Lamont did in there can't dictate what nobody else is doing. That's what people got mistaken, open quote, close quote. Lamont Roach Sr. also said, Gervonta is still a great champion. He just in there with another great fighter. Then that's Lamont Roach Sr. said. Also, it says it's cool to hear Lamont Roach Sr. still giving Gervonta Tank Davis his flowers and respect, which will only add intrigue for when his son goes toe to toe with Gervonta Tank Davis in the rematch. So there we have Lamont Roach Sr. also said, throwing his 2 cents in, that Gervonta Tank Davis is still a great champion. He still is, despite the fact that what happened between them in March 1st, still great champion, still fighting champion, still dangerous champion. But obviously that remains to be seen when Lamont Roach faces him later in June. Was it June 15th? I believe it was. So the next article here, uh, I'm trying to get this. Lamont Roach. Let me just see this. Roach. That's his stray. Apparently my computer is giving me problems today. So the article written 4 days later, Lamont Roach catches stray from boxing legend Gervonta Tank Davis roast. I also read an article on sports on KO.com, SportsIllustrated.com. So it says here, um, Lamont Roach catches stray from boxing legend Gervonta Tank Davis roast. One common complaint about the structure of boxing is that many fans believe the sport's top prospects aren't challenged enough during their ascension and can handpick easy fights for much of their career. The common retort to this stance has always been that fighters will fight whoever as long as the price is right. And this is proven true with the staggering purses that Turkey Alal Sheikh has been offering in recent years, which have been a catalyst for many of the world's best boxers finally facing off in the ring. The one fighter who seemingly refuses to work with Ali Sheik is Gervonta Tank Davis. This aversion has come in the boxing community questioning whether Tank Davis truly wants to be challenged, even if this challenge comes with a fantastic price. Then again, Tank Davis was challenged by Lamont Roach last month in a bout that Ali Sheik has nothing to do with. This didn't keep former professional boxer Paulie Malignaggi from putting Davis on blast on April 15th interview with Fight Hype. This is what Paul Malignaggi said, quote, open quote, said, Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson can't get the barometer fight because it's not attainable because nobody wants to fight them. Gervonta Davis doesn't get the barometer fight because he always avoids it. I don't understand why the double standard, Malignaggi said when asked about the barometer fight where a boxer can show just how great they are. Where's the barometer fight for Gervonta Davis? Where is it? With Lamont Roach, where was he 16-1 favorite and then struggled? That's a barometer? What kind of barometer is that? Malignaggi continued. Where was the barometer fight for Gervonta Davis? Clearly, Malignaggi isn't a big fan of Davis' fight decisions. However, one could argue that Roach deserves more respect than that. Um, so there we have it, guys, for Gervonta Davis um, in this fight, building up with that. So now we're reading another article from SportsIllustrated.com. It says here that this article on April 18th, also talking about Lamont Roach. So Devin Haney's dad sends Lamont Roach a forward warning about Gervonta Davis rematch. Bill, it's anybody's guess by an official announcement for the rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach hasn't been revealed yet, while there have been several reports that the rematch is likely to take place on June 21st in Las Vegas. It seems that there are still aspects of his WB lightweight title bout that need to be ironed out. Given the first fight on March 1st ended in a majority draw, everyone seems to have an opinion about whether Davis will outclass Roach in the rematch as he was expected to do in their first fight, or whether Roach simply has Davis' number and will show once again when they meet in the ring. What's for sure is that both fighters will need to prepare for a war in order to cement their stance as the superior fighter. Boxing icon Devin Haney and his father, head trainer Bill Haney, will surely be tuned in for this rematch. And during an April 18th interview on the Cigar Talk podcast, Bill Haney gave Lamont Roach a warning ahead of this second showdown against Tank Davis. And this is what he said. There we go. This is what he said. Lamont, get to work now, Bill Haney said. Get to work. Close quote, open quote. Get to work. Don't do too much talking. Listen, have Pops come in, sit down, and talk, because that's what we do. Devin's going to work, and I'm going to talk. So, Lamont, get busy, man. Get busy, he added. That will be another great fight. Close quote. One would imagine that Gervonta has all the motivation in the world after his first poor performance against Roach, which means Roach will need to produce another masterclass in order to beat him. So we have Devin Haney is definitely sending out the motivation to Lamont Roach to get prepared for the fight, because you need to get prepared. Stop talking so much. Get prepared for the fight, because all that talking is going to distract you. Definitely gonna have to see what's going to be the outcome with this, because it's going to be in June 21st in Las Vegas. Obviously, we don't know what's going to be the outcome. Hopefully, the, the deadline will be cemented, and we'll see what's going to happen going forward with that. And the last article here I have on this topic here. So this article was on April 25th, 2025. I'm obviously still waiting for more articles to come out, and we'll talk more about the fight going forward. But in this article here on April 25th, 2025, on Sports Illustrated again, Gervonta Davis' teammate admits Tank is scared to lose Lamont Roach rematch, which is kind of, let's say, surprising to say the least. But honestly, we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen with Davis. I don't think Davis will want to lose a rematch against Roach, because Davis can definitely put on a show and defeat Roach, and to cement himself as in this clear the doubters. But here in this article, let's read this article here. It says, it has now been nearly 2 months since the fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. for Davis's WBA lightweight belt, and there is still no official announcement regarding a fight between them. So we have yet to hear from that. The first fight's controversial moment of Gervonta Davis taking a knee in the ninth round, which was not ruled a knockdown, combined with the bout ultimately getting ruled a majority draw, made this rematch a necessity. However, since both sides have not clearly agreed, the suspected rematch date will probably be targeted late July or even August, as opposed to the initial June 21st target date. Um, so you may not see this fight happen in June. It may happen in June or July or August. But it says here, continuing, if there's any good news about this date delay, it's that there can now be more speculation about how the second fight will go. And during the April 25th interview with YSM Sports Media, undefeated IBF junior lightweight champion Richardson Hitchens, who is also one of Gervonta Davis's training partners, made interesting comments about Gervonta Tank Davis's mindset heading into the Lamont Roach rematch. And Hitchinson said, quote, I tell Davis that behind closed doors, if he doesn't focus up, it can go left for him, Hitchens said of the rematch. But Tank is a true competitor. Tank is a guy that he's scared to lose. So I think that night March 1st woke him up. Ah man, this this can go really left at any given moment. That's what Hitchinson said. Hitchinson also said, open quote, I see him already back in the gym. I see him already staying off the internet, so he's got to make sure he's focused, make the right adjustments, and just go out there and give the best performance he can. Hitchens continued. Also, Hitchens said, I think honestly, them guys is both evenly matched. They have a history with each other. They know each other, so I don't think that's going to be that much of a difference in the rematch. But with Tank's power, anything can happen. Hitchens concluded. This stance from Hitchens adds even more intrigue into this eventual rematch. And we are getting a lot closer and closer. We're now about a month away since today is May 11th. We're about a month and let's say a month and 10 days away from the eventual rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach that's going to be happening in Las Vegas on June 21st. So my thoughts on this are what my question is, what is everybody's thoughts on this rematch? Is this rematch going to really happen June 21st, or is it going to be postponed until July or August for this rematch to occur? I mean, obviously, both we know injuries might happen, so the fighters might need time to recover from the injury if it happens while they're doing their training. So obviously the match might be the match might be put on hold until August. So obviously that's going to happen. But if it does happen, is this going to is this going to be an interesting? I gotta say, this is going to be an interesting rematch between Roach and Davis because, as Hitchens said, that both of them might be evenly matched against each other, and they know each other really well. So it's going to be a really interesting chess match that both of these guys are playing to see who's going to be the better fighter going forward. I'm definitely going to keep you guys posted on what's happening going forward. This month is not over yet, so we're definitely going to be expecting more articles coming out, more updates coming out about Gervonta Davis and Tank and Roach and Lamont Roach going forward. And also, I definitely want to keep up with my other topics that I'm talking about, with my other sports topics, with soccer and basketball and football. There's been some news that have come out, so be on the lookout for those additional news updates going on, and I'll be keeping you guys posted on what's happening with that. So, this is the end of this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, enjoyed this talk, and I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of this wonderful Sunday morning. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Um, and happy Mother's Day to everybody's families, parents out there. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great one.